Hello everyone, this is Sam from DataKey Studios. In this video, I want to give you tips about support edge and how to preserve UV on high poly to avoid stretching. So I create a cube as an example. Alright, and I convert it to editable poly. And note that, of course, if I apply Turbo Smooth modifier, it's gonna get too round. Alright, so if I start adding some extra edges with connection, let me make it a bit rounder. Alright, and here, if I press semicolon from my keyboard, it will repeat list. And here, and now if I apply Turbo Smooth, it is fine, but we need extra iteration to get smooth fine result. If I set 1 in this example, see that still it is not very smooth, especially here it is very obvious. So you need more extra, still it is not perfect, and in this case 3 it is ideal. And one more important thing here is, note that when I start adding iteration, it's stretching too much. Look at here. It's moving too much. For that reason, we're always adding extra support edge to preserve our corners. So I add one more extra, even more, something like that. So close. All right. And here and here. Although we added few extra polygons, but now first we don't need to make too much iteration. You see, now the result, it is much better. And also look at here, it is not moving at all, almost at the same position. So for that reason, I always recommend you to use extra support edge for your modeling, especially when you're trying to make AAA high quality models and selling online, because for selling models on online platforms, you usually do not collapse with high polygon, not selling high polygon, something like that. It is not great for your sell rate. And now let me remove the Turbo Smooth. I apply Unwrap UV map. It has already mapped because it was a simple box. I'm going to UV editor and I don't want to have overlap, so let me with padding make it something like that. Alright. This is not our final product. If I apply Turbo Smooth modifier, something like that, the second tip here is always export high poly in your 3D Painter mapping applications such as Mari or Substance 3D Painter, which in this case I want to use that with this. But still it is not perfect, just let me show you. File, export, and export selected. Yeah, box it is fine. And I export as a FBX save. Replace it. And note that I don't want to have Turbo Smooth, so I did disabled, else my exported object won't be subdivided. Or you could collapse it first, then export it. In this case, that's fine, so make sure it is not enabled Turbo Smooth. OK. And OK. Now I'm going to Substance 3D Painter. And here I create a new project, File, New. Everything is fine. Select my box, open, and OK. Alright. Now if I apply some texture, let me add, for instance, wood to be obvious. Look at here what's happened. My UV is stretched. It doesn't matter even if I had few extra connections, still was stretched at least here. So before export your model, always export with fixed UV on high poly. I will go back to 3D Studio Max. Here, after applying Turbo Smooth, again I'm gonna apply Unwrap UV map, open UV editor, and look at here, they're stretched. To fix that, you could easily relax it. I'm going to select them all, doesn't matter. Go to relax. I'm using by polygon angles and amount 1. Apply. Alright, a few times to make sure it is fine. As you see, the boundary is not moving. If in some cases your boundary is moving too much, you could enable keep boundary points fixed, which in this case we don't need that. Alright, now I will apply this model. File, export, and export selected. Same file, yes, and okay. Okay. I'm going back to Substance 3D Painter, and here I could make a new project again, or I could go to Edit, Project Configuration, and I will select my models again here. And let me bring it here. Okay, open and okay. Now see what's happened? There is no stretched UV. Of course, the same it is visible here because of my projection. We have sims here. You could use other types such as triplanar. And there it is. Now we have very clean, unstretched map. With this method, not only you have access to your low poly geometry and UV, also you fix the issues for UV stretching. I could make a preview here. Let me remove the background. Okay, clear color. And there it is. We have very clean UV. And still you have access to your low poly geometry. And when you're publishing your models, you don't need to publish high poly geometry. So customers also will access to low poly models. Maybe they don't need to hire iteration or subdivision, which in most cases customers requires that. Thanks for watching. See you in next video.